It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Good morning and welcome to the Splash Live. Not exactly live at Green Media Center today, but almost. That's where Calvin Brown is at Master Control, and he is engineering all of our amazing technology that allows me to broadcast from the kitchen today. I'm Dave Scott, by the way, in for Tyler Keefe. Kevin McIntosh is with us broadcasting this morning. What room are you in your house? I'm in the kitchen. Where are you?
I'm in my homemade studio, Dave. I was prepared for this. Lights, camera, backdrop, action. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, you're looking a little bit better than I am. Do I have to move over here, Calvin, or move over there? Move over there just a little bit. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Okay. Hey, it's community television. We can adjust here a little bit. But hey, really good to be with you today, Kevin. Welcome to the team. You're doing a great job. Thank you, our viewers, for tuning in and watching. We had a busy day today. Let's just kind of start out with the stuff that is off the news blotter, as we would say back in the day, and that starts with our police report and report from the fire department. We had a fire in the West Bloomfield area. We'll update you on that in just a minute, but we did talk to the chief in Keego Harbor yesterday, chief of police there, and Chief Fitzgerald, of course, and he was talking yesterday about this hit and run that happened in Keego. They are still looking for the culprit of that crime. Somebody didn't pay their bill. I want to say it was Gino's. My head's a little confused because it took everything we could to get on the air today. But there's a picture, and they didn't pay the bill. The wait staff went outside as this person was leaving in their car, got in front of the car. Not really the smartest thing to do, but that's what happened. And then they just hit that person and took off. And Kevin, I know you talked to the chief yesterday. Maybe you can give us an update on where this story stands as of this morning.
Yes, I did speak to Keego Harbor Police Chief John Fitzgerald, and he did inform me there were no major updates at the time, but what he believes he has the license plate, which would be DY9003. That's D Delta Y Yo-Yo 9003. So be on the lookout for that.
Wow. You would think with a license plate, then they would be in a really good position. They got to know whose car it is to start tracking this down. It looks like we're making really good progress having that plate. I don't know. Did he tell you whether they got that off of a camera or a webcam, or any idea how they actually were successful in getting the license plate number of that hit and run car accident and the offending driver in Keego Harbor?
No word on exactly how they got the license plate, but they are using any and all resources to actually, solve this crime, and they are reaching out to the community. If you have any details, any information in regards to the car, the license plate, or the driver, please reach out to the Keego Harbor Police Department.
All right. Well, they're doing a good job, and I believe we are going to get to the bottom of this. Shifting over to the West Bloomfield Fire Department, we've got some art. Calvin, maybe you can put that up while I can read the story here, which is way over to my left, so forgive me. Last evening at about 6:30 p.m., a fire and a family was alerted to a fire in their garage by working smoke alarms. Homeowners were home watching TV at the time when they heard the alarm, and then they smelled some smoke in the house. They quickly discovered the fire in the garage, safely exited the home. As you can see there from the pictures, the amazing West Bloomfield Police Department responded promptly, got things under control, and Kevin, it all ends up good. There's, I'm sure, going to be some loss and a phone call to an insurance company, but nobody hurt in that incident. And let me tell you, we'll get the fire department on on. This is kind of breaking news. Hopefully we'll get him on tomorrow. But, that smoke alarm, that was the first sign. So and it was in the garage, right? That thing could have really got out of control before anybody knew it. They're inside, they're watching TV, they really don't know what's going out in the garage, and then that smoke alarm goes off and it alerted everybody, got the fire department there quick response. People got out of the house. Good result. But I don't know about you, but I'm going to get out and check the batteries of my smoke alarms later on today, because that's a really good reminder of how valuable that asset is.
No, I agree, but it's the simple things like that, right? Your smoke detector, making sure the batteries are up to date, making sure you have a fire extinguisher at home, and making sure you just have an overall plan and everyone is aware what to do in that situation. But thank goodness nobody was injured.
Well, nobody injured, and another great job by the West Bloomfield Fire Department again, and the folks that were in that home. So all around good results. So that's what's going on this morning from the hard breaking news here in West Bloomfield, talking about fires and whatnot. Reminder, yesterday we had this amazing comedian here on the show, and I'm looking up all the information right now because at my age I cannot remember all of these things. But his name, if I can find it here in just a second. My sincere apologies. Forgive me, I really feel bad about this, but it's been a little bit challenging getting on the air today. Comedian, and I don't have his name. Oh, there it is. Joshua Wild. Forgive me. Joshua Wild. We had him on the show yesterday. He was really great. Comedian. Yes, I'm wrong there too. Magician Joshua Wild on the show yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. And I don't know about you, but that guy blew me away when he was on the show. He's going to be performing tonight at the Harbor Steakhouse. And as of yesterday, there were just one or two tickets that were available. So if you want to go, head on out to the Harbor Steakhouse tonight. You might want to get a hold of those tickets. I'm going to try to make it. I haven't seen a really good magician in a long time, so we're looking forward to that one. Sounds like fun, huh?
I was always impressed by magic as a kid also. But one thing I love is that he gave us a little taste, like pulling the quarter out of thin air. It's good to have him around in case you're short at the vending machine.
Absolutely. He's never short of cash or when he's got to fill a parking meter. Right. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. I got a couple of things to pull together here. When we get back, we're going to talk about and focus on a new business in our area that recently had their grand opening, and we'll find out all about it. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching The Splash Live. I'm Dave Scott. He's Kevin McIntosh. Tyler Keefe is off. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Missed one of our live broadcasts or one of your local municipal meetings? Check it out online at civiccentertv.com. Every meeting, show, and interview on demand. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi, Lisa Brown here, reminding you that Michigan's presidential primary is February 27th, and the 9 days of early voting begin February 17th. Remember, in the presidential primary, you must choose either a Democratic, Republican, or nonpartisan ballot if applicable. Thank you for taking part in our democracy.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem. Don't let your gambling cause you financial hardship. If you or someone you love is struggling with gambling, we can help. Get free confidential counseling and win your life back. Learn more at michigan.gov/problemgambling.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon. a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Finding a reputable business shouldn't require luck or chance. But how can you tell who you can trust? Pro tip: the BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as the better, check with the BBB first, because better businesses are honest and commit to high ethical standards bureau. That's why they're better. Always look for the sign of a better business and find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Good nutrition can help make sure you have enough iron, calcium, and vitamin C in your body, which can make it harder for lead to enter your bloodstream. Help protect your family from the harmful effects of lead.
What people are watching in Orchard Lake, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Hello, welcome back to The Splash Live. Dave Scott broadcasting from the kitchen today. Tyler Keefe is off. Kevin McIntosh has stepped away for a moment or two. Thank you for watching us. We are live, we are local, we are social, and the live part always makes it a little interesting. That's why I called a magician a comedian. But often a lot going on behind the scenes, but we appreciate your patience with us. Hey, big news on our front, a little bit of inside baseball. We'll talk about it a little bit later in the show, but I want to thank each and every one of you. We didn't start out on Facebook, but we ended up getting more involved in Facebook over the years, and especially the last year. Yesterday, a major milestone, we reached 1,000 followers, 1,000 friends on Facebook, and that was a huge milestone. So thank you to everyone who tunes into the show every day on Facebook. More on that later on in the program. Remember, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on all the social medias. We are on the radio on 89.3 FM, Lakes FM every day, and of course on Civic Center TV on our cable television channels. We are hardly a new business. We've been around here for a long time, but Bobbi is an amazing new business, and joining us this morning is the proprietor, owner, Bobbi Patterson. Bobbi, good morning and welcome to The Splash Live.
Good morning to you too as well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I hope we didn't get you going too early. Are you cooking and at work already normally at this hour?
Well, in this business, everything starts early and we stay late. It's just the nature of this business. But we enjoy doing what we're doing, so that's great.
Well, you have to forgive me, Bobbi. I don't know anything about your business. I haven't been by there yet, but I figured we would learn together and learn with our audience. So first of all, where are you located?
Okay, we're located at 7412 Haggerty Road, West Bloomfield. It's actually at the corner of 14 Mile and Haggerty. In this particular location, Walgreens is the anchor store for this location. We opened up about 3 weeks ago, and we've been getting rave reviews, of course, from the public. We have a restaurant concept that combines two cuisines, both the Southern style barbecue menu as well as the Jamaican style cuisine. So in actuality, just say, for instance, if you and your wife went out to get something to eat, and she wanted Jamaican food, and you wanted some barbecue. Well, guess what? In one location, you're able to get both. So we'll satisfy that need there. But
right. Well, Bobbi, barbecue has become so popular, and I love barbecue, and I love it especially because it's consistent with my low-carb diet that I'm trying to stay on. Lots of protein, and I can't always get the sauce, but what is it? I mean, Americans love barbecue, and there weren't barbecue restaurants, a ton of them. Now they're popping up, maybe down south, but now they're popping up all over the place. Your story, why barbecue? And just talk about the popularity of barbecue right now.
Well, think about it from this perspective. If you go across America, everyone thinks that they can have the best barbecue that can ever be made. It's Southern, it's Western, it's Northern, it's Eastern. Everyone loves barbecue. And barbecue goes way, way, way back, a long, long ways. In my particular case, and I come from a line of Alabama cooks. Barbecue, we grew up with barbecue in our household, and I'm sure a lot of other people did too as well. But there's always been this type of thing where, it's a type of food that you could just sit back, get on the grill, cook some good food, enjoy the family, and have a great outing. Great outing. So it's been around for a long time. It's going to continue to be that. We here at Barbecues consider ourselves one of the best that people have had the opportunity to be a part of. I've been doing this now for over 50 years. I'm a national award-winning chef, taught culinary arts for almost 10 years at the high school level. I was also a military chef back in the day. And then I came from a line of Alabama cooks, and I graduated from Wayne County Community College in Detroit, Michigan. I used to travel all over the country in various competitions because I was a food show competition chef at that time. And I've always wanted to get back to, I'm sort of a meat and potatoes type person. Barbecue to me is meat and potatoes. It's food good for the soul. So we sort of enjoy
Well, Bobbi, you and I are kindred spirits there because I'm a meat and potatoes guy too. And listen, if I'm driving up and down the roads here in West Bloomfield, Bobbi Patterson, I'm always thinking, all right, where's the next barbecue place? And there's more and more of them popping up in our area. I don't want to highlight any of the other ones today, but I think it's awesome. So you're from down south. We kind of ended up with Chicago-style pizza, New York-style pizza, and you were referring to the local modifications and versions of barbecue. Maybe we need to come up with kind of a Detroit or West Bloomfield style barbecue. What do you think about that?
I think that would be great because it's interesting because I spent many years in Houston, Texas at that time. And, Texas they consider themselves the best barbecue state in the nation. Their type of barbecue is different from what we do up north here. In the South, for instance, in Houston, Texas, they like a lot of smoke. Here, we like a lot more flavor, not as much smoke. So there is a difference depending on which region that you go into. So that's how we look at everything. And we try and make sure that we provide the best product possible for our customer base.
We'll talk a little bit about, you also mentioned that you have Cajun food as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we do a few things actually because of the fact that we're able to combine a couple of cuisines together. For instance, like we do the Southern style barbecue, and then we have that Jamaican menu that we have. We actually have authentic Jamaican cooks coming in, and half of my family is Jamaican, and they do the cooking on the Jamaican side, as well as we introduce a little bit of Cajun Creole style, like seafood gumbo, those types of things. So because of my experience in the past, and we're able to come up with a concept that to satisfy quite a few customers type of menu that we have.
One of the things I really like about food is that it's so deeply tied into our ethnicity and culture. And you know, you go to a Chinese restaurant, you go to a good deli, you go to a barbecue, and you know, it just kind of feels, even if you don't have the money to travel around the world or around the country, you can't help but get a little taste of that culture. I was in a Vietnamese seafood place the other day, same kind of thing. So, you know, how do you feel about all that?
Well, I feel great because what we try and do here is to also introduce the family type atmosphere. We want people, when they come to barbecues, to feel good. You know how you've ever been to a place where you went in and you had a dining experience and you ate their food, and when you came out, you said, wow, that food was so great. The customer service was great. I want to be able to come back there and bring my family or all my friends to come back there again. Because two things are very important when you're in the restaurant business, from my experience, and communication with the public, of course, and then secondly, having a great product. There's an old saying that we've always had, with my experience as a national award-winning chef: you're only as good as your last meal. So each and every time that we produce a product, we try and make sure that we can do the best that we can do. Now, we're not perfect. I don't know anybody that is, but we want to develop a relationship with our customer base. Like, for instance, if she comes in and she says, well, I didn't like this, or this wasn't right. Well, come talk to us, because what we're trying to do is make things right. So you'll have an enjoyable experience, and we'll have an enjoyable experience just serving you our products.
All right, Bobbi Patterson is joining us. He just opened a new restaurant called Bobbicues right here in West Bloomfield. Cajun food, barbecue, and then obviously lots of experience serving the military, serving individuals, teaching in high school, and clearly, Bobbi, you're a good guy. I want to come out and meet you and taste some of the food and bring some friends, and you know, we're looking forward to it. Final thing, and then I got to scoot. Barbecue. So, you know, I love all that sauce on the barbecue, all that sweet, sugary barbecue sauce, but I can't do that anymore, you know? So I've really come to appreciate, the quality of the barbecue that isn't disguised at all by that sauce. So what makes it, feel free to talk about that, and what really, when you're tasting the barbecue without the extras on it, what really makes it special?
Well, here's what we do. What we do is we marinate, because we season our ribs ahead of time, and we marinate our ribs overnight. So actually, you don't have to have the sauce as an extra. And believe me, when people try my sauce, I've had people call me and say, we just got through drinking your sauce. It was so good to them. But
I get it.
But the meat itself, the way we prepare our ribs, as they're well seasoned and marinated over a period of time, because when you think about a rib by itself, if you put some seasonings over there and you give it time to marinate in the walk-in cooler or refrigerator, whatever you have, those seasonings will incorporate inside the meat. Whereas if you season it right, you can eat the meat by itself and not even put any sauce on it. The sauce is just extra.
Well, I lied. I want to ask you one more question. I'm having so much fun. You got any tips for Dave Scott in the backyard, lighting up the barbecue? Weather's starting to get a little bit better. And certainly I'm not going to be able to create the Picasso in my backyard like you would, Bobbi, but you got a tip for me?
Yeah, remember, here's the important thing. Now, when you're barbecuing, the most important thing you have to remember is the fire that you use can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. And saying that is, if the fire is too high, you're going to burn the food. If the fire is too low, you're not going to cook it to the desired temperature that you need to cook it at, unless you're doing slow cooking. So you have to find a medium to where when the heat hits the meat, that it's at the proper distance to where it will cook it not too fast and not too slow. So watch that. That's the most important thing when you're barbecuing, is the fire and how far the distance is from the actual fire to the meat itself. How about that?
All right. Well, I appreciate that advice. A good advice for barbecuing and for life in general. Not too fast, not too slow. Just get it just right. Bobbi
That's right.
Peterson, thank you very much. Patterson, thank you very much. Real quickly before we go, one more time, tell people where you are, what your hours are, and anything else you want to do to plug your new restaurant here in West Bloomfield.
Okay, folks, we're at 14 Mile and Haggerty. The address is 7412 Haggerty World Road, West Bloomfield. Again, the Walgreens is the anchor store in this particular center. Our hours are from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I'm sorry, we're closed on Mondays. 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday and Sunday Friday and Saturday we're 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then Sunday we're 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Am I correct? Yeah.
All right.
We
wrote it all down. That's close enough. We'll come out and enjoy it. Bobbi, thank you. Congratulations. Good luck with your new restaurant.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having us.
All right. No problem. Talk to you soon. Bobbi Q's, and go check it out there by Walgreens. All right. Hey, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. A really exciting thing happening in our area. We have two of the top high school teams in the state of Michigan ranked by Mick McCabe at the Detroit Free Press as number one in boys, number one in girls, right here in our coverage area. It's amazing and exciting. We're going to check in with the folks in the Michigan High School Athletic Association who are getting ready for March Madness on the high school level and the tournament run. We're going to talk about our teams and a whole lot more. We'll be back in a moment. In for Tyler Keefe, I'm Dave Scott. Thank you for joining us. You are watching The Splash Live, and we'll be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on CivicCenterTV.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at CivicCenterTV.com and click Schedule at the top of the screen.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Ronnie started doing prescription pills at the age of 15, and by 19, he died. If your child is struggling with drug use, try not to be too proud to reach out for help. Don't be worried about what the neighbor will think or your family. Just get your child the help they need. Sometimes it's the hard road to take, but the hard road is nothing compared to living with the fact that your child is no longer with you.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
What people are watching in Sylvan Lake. Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back, Splash Live. Dave Scott here, broadcasting from the kitchen today. Tyler Keefe, you see it's pretty nice outside. A little cloudy, not too bad. Tyler Keefe is in Arizona with his family and his grandparents, and checked in with him yesterday. He's having a grand time. He'll be back midweek next week. Kevin McIntosh, why don't you pop in here? Kevin, of course, has been working behind the scenes, making things happen. Kevin is our newest reporter here at Civic Center TV. How's it going, Kevin? Good.
So
Hopefully
far,
Kevin
so good,
can hear
Dave.
me. I can't
Enjoying
hear.
it. I'm enjoying this weather, too.
Okay, well, good to hear it. Kevin, you'll be seeing more of him here. Joining Kevin and I believe, if we could do all this, is Mark Hanford. Mark is the operating manager of Local Acre. We keep taking a look at businesses here in our area, and we shift now over into the Keego and Sylvan area. Mark, good morning, and welcome to the Splash Live.
Good morning, Dave and Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. I didn't know, that Calvin, I got to move a little bit and get my face cut off. There we go. But I didn't know that Calvin could get us all on TV all at the same time. My big face doesn't fit in the screen too well. So good to have you here with us, Mark. Thank you very much. So, I was looking on Facebook and I looked at your business. I gotta get somebody on from Local Acre and learn more about what you're doing, because what you're doing seems like a very unique approach. So let's just start from ground zero and tell us what Local Acre is for people that are not familiar with you.
Sure, Dave. So Local Acre, we are an urban farm and kitchen. So as you had mentioned, we are unique in the sense that we have both a farm side of our business as well as a full commercial kitchen and a retail space. So part of what we brought into Sylvan Lake is the ability to grow our own microgreens here at Local Acre, and then harvest them and serve them fresh and sell them in our store, as well as Oakland County's farmers market. So people can come in and buy freshly harvested microgreens. They haven't been on a truck for a few days and then set out. They've been just harvested, and you can pick them up fresh here. Not only that, but we incorporate our microgreens into all different types of baked goods and foods that we make here in our commercial kitchen, including microgreen powders, prepared meals, and others.
Well, Mark, you're going to have to help me out a little bit. Every industry has its own unique terminology, and, I know what a microscope is, but I'm not so sure that I know what a microgreen is. Maybe you can help me out.
Sure. That's a common question that many people have. And so microgreens are young vegetables between the stage of sprouts and baby greens. Many people will also call microgreens sprouts, but it is actually a different stage than sprouts, and it's actually a safer to eat stage of vegetables than sprouts. So they are very nutrient dense. That's because you're eating the seed leaves, or what they call cotyledons, of the plant, where they have not formed their first true leaves, but they are concentrated nutrients inside the small leaves, up to 40 times more nutrient dense than the more adult plant.
Wow, very interesting. Well, I had no idea. It sounds very cool. What is the cycle to take these microgreens from their very first planting to when you can harvest them and deliver them to your customers?
So there's a range. Right now we work with microgreens. Radish is our fastest producing microgreen within 7 days. So from the time that we soil the trays, seed it, and harvest it, we can do that within easily 7 days with radish. When we get into broccoli, cabbage, and sunflower, we're looking at more like 10 days. Then there's cilantro. And cilantro is a longer grow, depending on whether you're looking to get the first true leaf on that, which the chefs like, or something just before then, which is what we do. Basically, we get that in about 14 plus days, and we do a special blend with our cilantro and radish mix.
Wow, really amazing. Mark Hanford joining us from the Local Acre. Kevin, I'll get to you in a minute. This, Mark, just so you know, Kevin's new with us, and his comp is different than any other new reporter we've had. He gets paid by the question. So he's going to want to get a couple of questions in here. He's not going to have a very good day. So hang on. I got one more, and then it's all you, Kevin. Mark, so I mean, do you do all this right in your space? I assume you do this inside because you're doing it all the time. Kind of talk. We're going to get out with a camera crew, but until then, talk about how this is all laid out and how it works.
Okay, so yeah, we do all of this here inside the store, about 2,400 square feet. About 1/3 of that is dedicated to the grow space. So there we have a 3-compartment sink where we wash trays and utensils and things like that. And then we have racks, vertical racks of microgreens. Now we are a soil-based grower of microgreens. We do not use hydroponics. And then, so we grow, and we do this every week. So that cycle that we spoke about, 7 or 10 days, that's going on every single week of the year, winter, spring, fall, summer. And then we have our kitchen side. So there we have our dehydrators, our oven, tables, mixer, because we do so much. We do everything from chicken, with vegetables that we cut up. And so we create these meals. We have we're family owned, so there's 4 of us, my wife, my 2 sons, and myself. And we produce this all here. Then we have the Oakland County Farmers Market, which we're at every week, Saturdays right now. And then once May hits, we're there Thursdays and Saturdays. So we have different goals. We have people on subscription for our prepared meals, as well as we have ready to go, as you can see back in our refrigerator, that you can purchase right here a la carte. Then we have, yeah.
No, absolutely amazing. Kevin, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Sounds good. Hey, thank you, Mark. My first question is, you made a big difference between microgreens and sprout and any other level of growth with the produce. Can you just talk about what inspired your research and development behind microgreens specifically?
Sure, Kevin. Thank you for that question. We grow the microgreens. Sprouts are a more regulated plant, and that goes to being involved with germinating in a moist, wet environment with water. Some other mechanisms in a jar or otherwise. And sprouts are, I think it was back in the 70s, there were issues with some E. coli and other issues with sprouts. And so then a safer method is growing microgreens, where you're cutting the plant off above the soil level. And we do those with knives. And so that is a safer way of harvesting the vegetable, just like you would harvest other vegetables, above the soil. It's not kept in a recycled water environment. So we grow in new soil every week. They're also
Mark,
more
we got to run
nutrient
along.
dense.
I am so
yeah.
Mark, I'm so sorry. We have to run a line. This is fascinating. I said microscope, microgreen at the beginning of the show. I didn't realize this is going to be so scientifically based and technology based, but absolutely terrific. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the most unique grow operations in Metro Detroit, and this time it's all about food and vegetables. Mark, thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate it, Mark. From Local Acre. We'll come out, bring the crew, and get to know you a little bit better, all right?
Yeah, thank you, Dave. 2454 Orchard Lake Road, Sylvan Lake, 248-668-8575.
Got a website?
www.localacre.com.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Very interesting. Looking forward to
Mark.
learning more. We're going to take a break.
Kevin.
We'll be back in just a minute. We are going to talk West Bloomfield and Orchard Lake High School Sports and the Michigan High School Athletic Association Spring Tournament when we return. You're watching The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Follow us on Twitter at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Good nutrition can help make sure you have enough iron, calcium, and vitamin C in your body, which can make it harder for lead to enter your bloodstream. Help protect your family from the harmful effects of lead.
A fresh start lets you refocus, helping you live in the moment, where you can take the leap or take a bow, basking in the glitz and the glow of winter. Because when the snow begins to fall, you feel the excitement rise. Set your sights on a winter wonderland as Fresh finds new ways forward in pure Michigan.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important.
And now the same is true in the face of flu.
Influenza has the power to infect millions.
But it's easy to protect yourself, your family, and your community.
The flu vaccine is safe and effective. And with COVID-19 still around,
it's essential. Together we can face flu season head on.
Visit michigan.gov/flu.
What people are watching in West Bloomfield. Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. Dave, Scott, and Kevin. Kevin McIntosh with us, our newest reporter. Dave and Kevin here today on The Splash Live. Tyler Keefe is off today. We're so fortunate here in the greater West Bloomfield area to have some of the most amazing high school athletes in the state of Michigan, and many would say in the country. We've seen many of them play on the national stage in collegiate football. You know, first name comes to mind, but Donovan Edwards, but I can go on and on about all the players we've sent to the University of Michigan and Michigan State and other fine institutions around the country. But hey, it's basketball season, time to talk about that. And what a unique position we find ourselves in now. Mick McCabe of the Detroit Free Press has ranked the top teams in the state of Michigan. For the boys, he says #1 team in the state of Michigan coming into postseason is Orchard Lake St. Mary right here at home. #1 team on the women's side, the West Bloomfield High School Lakers. Joining us from the Michigan High School Athletic Association is Jeff Kimmerly. Jeff, good morning, and thank you for joining us here on the Splash Live.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you with us. It's a very busy time around your place right now as we're going into the very big spring season. And before we talk about our amazing teams right here at home, you know, we were talking about lacrosse yesterday on the show. There are so many different sports, both the club sports and the other sports that you at the Michigan High School Athletic Association help schools all around our state compete with each other. And it's a lot more. I know it is. It's a lot more than just basketball as we come into the spring, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We start 5 weeks of winter championships actually tomorrow with our team wrestling quarterfinals in Kalamazoo. Actually, could count it as 6 weeks because we had our first championships in the Upper Peninsula in swimming and diving last Saturday. So we have team wrestling this weekend. We keep the wrestling going for another weekend after that at Ford Field, and we have bowling and competitive cheer, and then we moved into hockey and gymnastics and swimming and diving, and then we move into finishing up boys basketball season and girls basketball season at the Breslin Center. So we have tens of thousands of athletes competing in these tournaments throughout the month to finish the winter, and then everybody gets a little bit of a breather for spring break, but it's pretty short because our spring season is so compacted. We get right back into it in early April.
All right, well, we're obviously very excited to talk about basketball. I think Kevin McIntosh is here, so we can bring him into the shot, and he can join us. I had to do that with a little bit of reluctance because Kevin just joined us, and he's a Cass Tech grad, so we have a little history, West Bloomfield and Cass Tech. We're still warming up to him here a little bit, but I tell you, really amazing job. Orchard Lake, St. Mary, and West Bloomfield. Let's start with the West Bloomfield Lakers and our girls basketball team, and quite a run. They made it to the state finals last year. I was there, had a great run. They won the state championship, I think, the year before, and now they're back, and Mick's got them number one. Just talk about them, if you would, and the growth and popularity of women's basketball at the high school level.
Well, and Michigan's always been a very good state for girls basketball. We've had, even when the season was during the fall, especially when the season was during the fall, it received a lot of attention because it was opposite the boys. It continues to do so. Of course, West Bloomfield has been one of the absolute premier teams in the state the last 3 years. Indian, Summer Davis, the twins are finishing up their careers here over the next few weeks. They have a number of other players who gained some experience over these last 2 runs as well. Obviously, I think a lot of people would expect to see West Bloomfield and Rockford meeting again, just like they did in the championship game last year. If that happens, I don't know that there'll be a whole lot of people surprised out there, but that program has really taken a few steps up here lately. Girls basketball, just from a statewide level, continues to thrive, which is good news because you look at all the options students have now for things to do and things to play and other activities to be involved with in school. And like I said, even when it was in the fall, the last 15 years since it's been back in the winter, girls basketball in Michigan has been very strong. Certainly one of the best states in the country, I think, top to bottom. And we're looking forward to it. We finished our tournament series with the girls this year. And so, it's going to be a great weekend at Breslin here in about 5 weeks. Or 4 weeks, I guess. Districts start in 2 weeks. So.
I'm sitting here quiet, waiting for you, Kevin. We can't talk to each other off the screen here. So, go ahead, Kev. It's all you.
No, I completely understand. My apologies. No, great, Jeff. Thank you for the information, and thank you for being here first and foremost. You mentioned the fact that there's a lot of different options kids have nowadays. They can even play video games as a sport nowadays. But can you just talk about some of the challenges and opportunities that the athletes, the coaches, and the administration face during the middle of the basketball season and all other seasons?
Well, our winter season especially, it's the long season. We start really with practices. Even with, let's say, hockey, they start at the end of October, beginning of November, because their schedule is a little bit different with ice availability and things like that. And we just have a 5, basically, November, December through March, we have about a 5-month winter season. A lot of times teams in all of our sports will hit something of a mid-season slog, if you will, where things just kind of seem to slow down. It's felt different to me, at least, this season. I think because the warmer weather Even our friends in the Upper Peninsula said they did not have much of a winter up there. I was in Tawas yesterday up on the Lake Huron shore, and they'd had snow storms maybe twice. So for me, just the warmer weather has made it seem like that kind of mid-season slump didn't happen this time around. But generally, that is a challenge. People get tired of being inside. People get tired of being kind of packed in close together. We get to February and everybody's a little antsy, and so they're looking forward to March. And and that's where we're at right now. Our boys basketball districts start next week. Like I said, our hockey tournament's already going. Wrestling's getting ready to start finishing up. Our other sports are into their tournament seasons as well. So people are starting to make that transition, and that's good news. We have great winter athletics in Michigan. I mean, we're a northern state, right? We should have great winter sports, but I think everybody gets ready for the spring and looks forward to having the spring roll around.
One more question, if you don't mind, Dave and Jeff. So as head of communications for MHSAA, are there any key messages or initiatives that you want to promote or convey to any parents or athletes involved?
We do. It's interesting because I think sometimes people wonder what we do. And I think sometimes people look at us as with just a critical eye, that we're these rule-making people, and that we're actually making things tougher and things like that. But really, I think our main messages from this office always are we are trying to make sports as safe as possible for our athletes. We have about 175,000 high school athletes and many more middle school athletes that are at schools that are part of our association. So we're always driving to make our sports as safe as possible. We're always driving to make our competition as equitable as possible. That's where all these things come into play, like transfer rules and other things about students moving back and forth to different schools and eligibility and things like that. So, we emphasize what's going on the field or on the court in both of those ways. That's really where our priorities are. We're very big into coaches' education. We're very big into student leadership, and those are things we're getting ready to celebrate our 100th year here coming up. And it's interesting because you look back at the things that were written coming out of this office and about this office even 100 years ago, when a lot of the issues things, as much as you would think they would change, a lot of them stay the same. And we are emphasizing a lot of the same things, and we are working with schools on a lot of the same things as well.
Jeff, we really appreciate being with us today. Before we let you go, I would be negligent in my duties here if we didn't talk about Orchard Lake St. Mary a little bit over on the boys' side. How cool is that? We've been focusing on the girls. Now, there is a development and really it talks about how the girls' programs are moving forward. But last year, following Orchard Lake St. Mary, they're going to run into another really good team really quickly, probably in like Brother Rice as it was last year. I don't know how all the brackets are working out this year, but they have an amazing program over there. They've been a dynasty in basketball for quite a while, and they are back with a vengeance against this year, getting that number one for Mick McCabe. Your thoughts?
Well, and one of the things tonight, speaking of Cass Tech, the game of the regular season, it's a nice Operation Friendship game. We're the champions of the Catholic High School League. Orchard Lake St. Mary's, of course, and the Detroit Public School League, Detroit Cass Tech, last year's Division I champion. They always face off at the end of the regular season. They will play tonight at Callahan Hall, or not tonight, I'm sorry. They play on the 24th. So I think that is Saturday, Friday, Callahan Hall. And so that will be, what a way to finish the regular season. I don't think anybody would be stunned if those two meet again in the postseason at some point. And actually, when you bring up West Bloomfield and St. Mary's, I was looking at this just before we got on. The West Bloomfield boys also shared their league championship in the Oakland Activities Association Red, and the Orchard Lake St. Mary's girls are undefeated. So it's not only the two teams that we're talking about, it's the other two teams at those schools as well that are having a ton of success this winter.
All right, well, Jeff, thank you. You just got me out of a lot of trouble and probably saved about 15 phone calls today after the show. Hey, what's the deal? What about the West Bloomfield boys? What about the Orchard Lake St. Mary's girls? Well, listen, I'm just following, Mick McCabe and what he has to say, but we'll see where it all goes. We're just so excited when anything happens that's good in sports. Listen, I wish the best to Cass Tech. I guess so. And we wish the best to everybody in the tournament all the way through. But I'm sorry, we're gonna cheer for the home team here on this show. Thank you very much, Jeff. One final thing here, just tickets for the tournaments. You're selling them all online. I think you did that for football. Are we still doing that for the basketball and the spring tournaments?
For basketball, everything up to the finals and semifinals at Breslin are on GoFan, and it's gofan.co. You type in the school where the game is that you'll be going to see, and it's all digital. It'll bring everything up. Tickets for the semifinals and finals at the Breslin Center are available right now from the Breslin Center ticket office. Those are also digital tickets. You can order those right now. It's general admission for both the girls and the boys. And I think all of our other tournaments, as I'm kind of scrolling through my mind, somebody's going to team wrestling this weekend at Wings Stadium. Those are print tickets, I believe. But everything else, Ford Field for individual wrestling, they have their own ticket office as well, and you would order that way. But everything else you can find on GoFan. If you go to our website, mhsa.com, go to the sport that you're interested in. We make it pretty big and bold there how to get tickets, and you just follow those links, and we'll get you there and get you in front of some great high school competition here over these next few weeks.
All right. Jeff, thanks for your time this morning. I know you're busy. Extend my greetings to your colleague, John Ross, and tell him that he'll have some credential requests on his desk as we head into the tournament, because Kevin and we're going to be out there at the Breslin. If it's Cass Tech or Orchard Lake St. Mary or West Bloomfield, we're going to be there with wall-to-wall coverage. You can count on it. Thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Well, there you go. High school basketball, high school sports. Kevin, I love high school sports, not just because I like to cheer for the home team and get out and see a good game, but I just love it additionally for everything it represents. And when, and you've got a chance to do this with us, and we're out, talking to these players. These are, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. And I'm telling you, they're just so smart and so mature. I know you already know it. It'll blow you away, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's when your professionalism develops. That's when your true talent starts to come to play, and you get that sense of camaraderie, which is beautiful, man. You don't get it anywhere else other than sports for the most part.
All right, so big day here on the show. We have a chance to talk to some local businesses, keep you up to date on that fire that happened in West Bloomfield. We're keeping an eye on what's going on in Keego Harbor with a hit and run, and that's what we do. A big thank you to our entire audience. Yeah. We hit that threshold over 1,000. Is it followers? I think it's followers, not likes. 1,000 followers on Facebook. We're doing big numbers on Facebook, on YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you're a traditionalist on cable, and don't forget, if you're watching these shows on social media or on civiccentertv.com or watching on cable, when you get in your car, don't forget about the Big 89. It's really fun. Just hit 89.3 Lakes FM on your car radio, and then you can take it with you all around. I can't think of another community television station in the state of Michigan that has its own 24/7 radio simulcast. It's cool. And Kevin, you just wait till you're driving around West Bloomfield hearing yourself on the radio. It's kind of fun for us too. So a huge shout out and thank you, Kevin McIntosh. You're killing it. So glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Likewise.
And thank you for listening and watching The Splash Live.
do it.